My name is Rachel Wall. I am a software engineer specializing in embedded systems, and I work on small satellites. I've also worked on communication systems and robotics. At my first job right out of college, I worked at a company that specialized in communication systems. Some of the projects I worked on there included cryptography and essentially building systems that helped our military and helped our government be able to communicate. Via satellites or from person to person or whatever. I have recently started a new company where I work with small satellites, and I'm building the embedded systems for those small satellites that will be launched up into space. I got into engineering because I really like being creative, and I really like fixing things. So I had this entire drawer full of broken parts that I would always try to use to kind of fix other things, little broken electronics, things like that. And then I really liked being creative. I made a lot of jewelry. I did lots of little projects, and engineering just kind of fell into place for me because of that. In college, I took courses for computer programming, things like programming video games, things like little robots that would run around on a course and follow a line. I was also part of a robotics team called RoboSub that did autonomous underwater vehicles. So robots that had to think for themselves and complete various tasks like swimming through a goal and shooting a torpedo, and they were really cool classes. One of the best things I did for my career was get internships. I was really lucky and I got 3 different internships at 3 different companies. I worked for a government contractor for my first one. My second internship was for a product engineering position. And so I did things like test memory components and try to figure out how to define or classify them based on how well they performed. And then my last internship was for a robotics position, which was really cool. I got to do things like work on a 10-foot tall airplane robot that was used to help clean paint off of airplanes. So engineering requires lots more collaboration than you'd expect. There's kind of the stereotype that engineers aren't social, that we don't really talk with others, and that couldn't be farther from the truth. I actually work from home right now, and so I have to do lots and lots of communication with my team to make sure that we're all up to speed on how my projects are going, on what projects I'm working on deadlines, things like that. My entire engineering career, from the time I was in junior high to high school to college, is all involved communication because it's all involved teamwork. And that's actually one of my specialties, is communication, whether it be speaking or writing or presenting, and it's all required. There's also a special gift of communication with engineering to be able to translate engineering topics to people who are not as engineering savvy. And that's really required when you're working with customers or teaching. Every day I work with other people. I actually work with people both in the US and outside of the US as well. And so there's a lot of collaboration that has to happen there. Some of the things that helped me get to where I am today were joining clubs, was a big, huge one. In junior high, I did something called Science Olympiad. In high school, I did something called Technology Student Association and VEX Robotics. And in college, I also joined clubs like RoboSub. And those helped me get a lot of hands-on experience and helped me get connections, helped me make friends with similar interests, and helped me learn a lot about what I wanted to do. There are a lot of reasons we need women in STEM. A couple examples are, for instance, when seatbelts were invented, they were primarily tested on males because that's who was available in the local colleges. And then they discovered that women have different anatomy and it affected seatbelt safety for years. We have different experiences and we have different thoughts and we have different ways to communicate and we have different perspectives on everything from seatbelts to coding for products and for product diversity, and to make sure that things that we're developing work. If you're interested in STEM, I definitely recommend you should go for it, especially if you're female. We definitely need males, but we have a lot of them, and we don't have as many females in STEM. And that means that we're lacking a lot of diversity, we're lacking a lot of input and a lot of your thoughts. So my first job out of college had these employee resource groups, and one of them was specifically for women. Men could join as well, which was important, but it was to support women who are a minority in STEM. And that was one of the best things I ever did, because it allowed me to network with women from all across the company, all levels of management, and helped me network with other women who are kind of in this unique spot that I was, being in a male-dominated field. I think that's really important, to find mentors and find those connections and stay in touch with them, because it shows that you're not alone in this field, and it shows that you have a village that supports you, and that can give you a lot of strength. A lot of females I know want to be moms and feel like maybe they can't have a career and do that. I'm a mom. Part of the reason I really love my work is because I can work from home and I can be with my daughter. And those were things that I really value now as an engineer. In addition, of course, to the things like being able to be creative, being able to use my communication skills, being able to grow my brain and continue to learn and grow. It really is the best of both worlds. I was editor of my high school's yearbook and newspaper, and then I was also part of Technology Student Association. I was very much on the fence about which one I wanted to do. And I went for STEM, and I'm so grateful for it. I highly encourage you to try it. I highly encourage you to find clubs and resources near you. I highly encourage you to look up how to code things, look up projects you can do at home. There's lots and lots of resources online and at your school. I'm Rachel Wall, and I work with satellites in space.